in. Hey, and we're live. Yay! What time is it? Oh my god, sorry, we came in a little bit late, but
Well, we're stuck in
if you've got to
traffic.
record it, yeah, and traffic of chatting.
I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
my god, look,
And it's warmer in here today. That's nice, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. So good job because I didn't bring my hoodie.
Well, you're doing really
Yeah,
good.
got
I'm
my
one of
face
those
mask.
who really don't like cold, as you can see. I'm still wrapped up, but this is just the way I like
So,
it.
episode 18
Mhm.
in the podcast. So today we're going to talk about, is toxic positivity real? I've never heard about this till this morning, to be fair.
Yeah.
I've heard of positivity and I've heard of toxic, but combined together in a force of things. So we're going to talk about that in just a bit. And obviously, hello, Claire. Morning. Hey, Claire, I got my Star Wars socks on today, but the boring ones with just stars and it says Star Wars.
Well, I think you actually made her day right now.
You're welcome. The force is strong in this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so sidetracked. We're going to talk about toxic positivity. So I'd be interested to share your thoughts on positivity. How do can you remain positive when the sky's falling? Is it possible? Do you do that, or are you one of these people that just hate all these little anecdote things? Is it possible to find the good in every situation? So share below, and if you guys can just comment, that'd be great, and we'll just sit here and wait for some comments to come. No. What's your thoughts on this, Hans? Because I've not heard of toxic.
Hi, Claire. We have another Claire in the house.
Oh, another Claire. Hi, Claire. Claire. Cool.
What I think about toxic positivity, this first of all, when we spoke this morning, I was like, have you heard about this concept, like toxic positivity? It's just, as I'm thinking about it, it's in my opinion, is a ridiculous concept. And the reason,
Anne's really sorry to interrupt, which you love. And she was going to go crazy earlier reading this. I nearly snatched that flipping phone out your hand, to be honest, because stop reading the comments. That was my thoughts, but anyway.
I just wanted to understand how people understand this concept. That was the reason why I started, just looking into the comments, because I just wanted to understand what is behind this term. And the more I was reading into it, then the more from what I've read, I understood this is just completely this is my opinion, okay? So everybody's entitled to their own opinion. For me, it's a mambo jumbo.
Except you.
Yeah. Hi, Margaret. It's for me personally,
hey, Margaret,
it's a mambo jumbo. It's a perception. And we are all entitled to have one. And if someone is wanting to see positive in negative, because that helps them to get through something, whatever they're going through, why observer would call it toxic positivity? This person, whoever is doing, is they're doing, and what you got to do with it, right? If you don't like this approach, don't look at it, just go different direction, just practice your own approach to it. So I'm still feeling a little bit, I'm rubbed wrong way, with this whole concept. I swear to God.
You did so well at it this morning, and then you looked at that stuff. I think that, and you probably go off a bit subject here, but it's just another tribe.
It must be.
It's just another tribe. It's same as controversially going to say it, anti-vaxxers, vaxxers. They're just two different tribes. Two tribes go to war. Look, there's always look again, share. How do you stay positive when the sky is falling, or if there's bad things going around? So maybe for me to try and understand this a little bit, I have to look at when things aren't so great for me. And I think people have this misconception that I'm Mr. Bouncy, positive and everything, see the good in everything. And yeah, I do, mostly. But I still have to go through feelings of frustration, pain and everything. And I think, and I believe that is so important, especially going through a grieving process. You can find the good in it if you like, and there will be something from it. Some things we just can't control. But I personally feel it's important to go through those emotions. Having gone through them myself, not try and bypass it, not skip it, not avoid it, because I feel that in my experience and what I've seen, that's going to come back and kick you right up the backside really hard at some point later on. So you do have to deal with those things, but I don't like to stay there.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah, I don't like to stay there. I don't like it to be the thing that defines me. And don't things that have happened, and they might come up sometimes in conversations. And it's maybe still part of it. I just need to let this out a bit, but that's just how it is. But I don't like to stay there. I don't like that to define my choices. Some things happen, right? They do have an impact to pay on like what we decide, or the directions that we're going to go, and then for me, that now it's become a lesson. It's whether how I connect with someone, or what opportunity I'm going to take next, or am I going to just sit here waiting to do something, or am I just going to get on and do it? So that's come from maybe at the time felt like bad experiences, but they've somehow made me stronger, and they've shaped me into who I am right now.
Right. So, okay. So what I hear is what you're saying about going through the experiences with everything, what they are offering you, all of the whole variety of different, just emotions, are there for a reason, right? And you're looking at the bigger picture, right?
Yeah.
So, you're going to come out on the other side, you're going to be smarter, wiser, you'll have, you are just smarter, right? In general, with the experiences and everything.
Yeah. I didn't always feel that at the time, though.
Of course not, because when you feel negative, just sometimes you just can't.
Yeah,
you can't feel that. It's obvious, right? You feel one or the other. You can't feel both at once. But then, because you have this ability to look at the bigger picture, right? And sometimes just bypass it when you have, let's say, you are in the middle of the turmoil, but you have a little bit of more positive feeling within you, which helps you to think, well, it will be over at some point, right? There will be something positive coming out of it. I'm gonna make it. I just, whatever it is. Would you class this as a toxic positivity because you can't look at the bigger picture?
Do you know what? I couldn't care less. I just couldn't care less. If you don't like it, don't like it.
Yeah.
Deal with it how you've got to deal with it, and good luck. I'll do it how I got to do it, and good luck to me.
Is this element, this small piece of positivity that you're having, and sometimes you're finding yourself to expressing to another one, something what is helping to get through the situation and keep your head above the water? Right. So why would you care about, someone else's opinion, and them expressing, just such a harsh, things like this positivity, toxic.
I think if I got to explain it, it's toxic.
Who is toxic? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's the same as a lot of stuff like this. I look at it, I always think, well, that attitude is quite it's a bit like projecting. You're projecting like your I'm a bit of a believer that often what we see in others is a reflection of ourselves anyway. Things that we say and do. So I'm quite aware of that, and that's what I just look at it. I just look at that and think, well, okay, fine. And then I avoid stuff that I just don't want to consume, basically, and try not to get involved in it.
I think it's.
But this is interesting, as in, because I think I said to you earlier that, like I said, people may have this perception, and I think I'm a positive person. I think I'm motivated, and I have great ambitions. I wasn't always like that. I don't think. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. Maybe I just didn't know it. But who cares? This is where I am now. So just I got to keep things simple. Well, that's it, really. I'm going to end the show now. But I've got challenges at the moment. I've got a few challenges I got to sort out, and I just have to try and look ahead. And I just believe, well, these challenges have been here before, but in a different context. And I have to believe I'll sort it out. And then some things as well, I just have to do little steps at a time, and then I don't feel overwhelmed about like. And you probably say it's every podcast, and I probably say that before we're about to say it. But if I focus on the thing that I want, but I get there's times when there are things that outside of our control. I think I'll share a story from my dad, really. So when he got prostate cancer, and one of his ways of dealing with it, and he said he had his dark moments, but it was a story that he'd gone to when he was younger. He said he was having lunch around Gloucester Cathedral or something, and looked at a couple of gravestones, and on the gravestones they were all quite young. So he just kind of figured, well, when did he get that? It was probably about 10 years ago, so he was probably about 60. So he just took it, well, for him to do it, is that I've actually outlived a lot of people. But I guess his brother died quite young at 52. So that was just his way of dealing with it. So is that toxic if that's helped him through that? I don't think so.
No,
If that gives it some sort of peace, then it gives some sort of peace. For me, then, with people that I care and love that have passed, then that is difficult. I've got to go through that grieving process, but also I like to remember, and take the good parts, take the things, nice memories with me, and I'll talk about it with kids, about whether it be my friend or just uncle, nan, my nana and uncles, whatever, aunties, things like that, and just share that wisdom and knowledge that I got from them, and just talk about it. So that's again my way of dealing, rather than I'm sad I can't see them again, but that's what can I do about it? Well, I see them in dreams, and I'm happy with that. So I find my way, but I'm not saying that the same way is right for someone else. It might be. That's just how I deal with it, and that's that. I can't live. I've lived life sad, and it wasn't fun. So,
I mean, like I said earlier, just we all have the variety of different emotions there for a reason, right? So we can experience different things and feel them different, right?
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you hear people expressing, something like they call it like toxic positivity, I think this could be also relating to the level of their awakening and spirituality.
Well, are they there? They want to be there.
Remember how many times we spoke about manifestation, right?
Yeah.
Bob Proctor says, if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand, which means you're creating with your mindset and what you believe in. And if people are choosing to be positive and looking for the positive outcome, even in the midst of negative situation, they are creating positive outcome, right? So
I think also you're wiring your brain as well.
Yeah,
you're wiring your brain to that.
So could it be that we are separating with this kind of term, we are separating those who are awakened and those who are really realistic?
Again, I don't care.
This is just a question. What is your take on that? Because I'm really puzzled with this, and I would like to understand. I would definitely, I have my own take and opinion about it, but share your thoughts about this, because this is really mind-boggling subject. I swear to God, I don't remember when it was the last time I was moved, just so strongly.
Where's the moon at, Ange? Because I reckon there's something to do with it.
So, but I really do like it. I really do like it because, and I'm not scared of having strong opinion about it, because first of all, it's my opinion. I completely own it. If someone is not liking it and not agreeing with
Ange
it.
wants to be challenged on it today.
Not on this one. Although if you feel like you want to challenge me, please do it, because I love having conversations. But personally, I feel like it's just a false concept, or false for people who have broader understanding of how it all works. This is just what I believe, right?
What was one of the comments they didn't, and I sort of relate and not relate, but where you see the live, life, love, laugh, whatever. I'm gonna pop that up in a minute. Thanks, Margaret. But I think quotes are there, and I think someone put you should okay, get back. You were showing me some comments on, I don't know, it's a podcast to do with this or whatever, and someone had put, I hate the love, live, life, laugh, or whatever things. One of these quotes that's quite popular now in pictures and pictures and stuff, and I kind of get it a little bit, but also I just think, wow, but if you're seeing that every day, that's going in your head, and even if you're not subconsciously subconsciously.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, I just make sure I got it. But subconsciously, I think those things are important as well.
Yeah.
Like if you had, I think if you had like on the other end of the spectrum, angry, hate, you're seeing that all the time. I think you're putting that in your head.
It will impact you, on so many levels. And okay, I understand that someone might have might not feel particularly positive about those those boards that are basically everywhere, live, love, live, love.
Yeah.
I
can't even say that.
No. But the thing is, you see, if someone is experiencing something negative and they are very negatively charged up for whatever reasons, this kind of slogans, that's the word I was looking for, will be rubbing them wrong way, right?
Yeah.
It will be something they see and they can't have, so they hate. Do you know what I mean? At this moment? So it's a temporary situation. If someone is feeling really, really good and positive and see this kind of slogan, it resonates with them. So they don't have kind of backlash and reaction, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, what's going on in your private life that you can't take it?
That's the key. Right there. There's something else going on.
Yes.
There's something else going on, but that's for you to work out. And what Margaret said here, in every situation we find something positive, we call it a lesson. Yeah. So that ties in with that. So if I feel that if there's something that's kind of, well, it's a pain point at the end of the day, if something's touching a pain point, I think really I'd rather understand why. It's a trigger. What's triggered you? And is that to do with a relationship or something that is going on at the moment, and to address that rather than whatever else, basically. I think this like is being against it. Because it when you push, because if you're going to push, let's say you push against that, it's going to push back more to you, because that's just logic, right? Push someone, people push back. But I think that, see, I like this. Attract and repel again, right?
Yeah. So what you resist, persist.
Exactly. And it'll keep coming. And it's a bit like people say, why does this keep happening to me?
Yes, exactly. Why?
Bloody pushing against it all the time. That's why.
And I think, just when you make this kind of statement, you also affirming what is happening.
Yeah.
So it keeps coming back. Right?
It's just my luck.
Oh my goodness. Do you remember when we were chatting about Abraham Hicks, and I expressed to you, I think they say that quite often, but what I'm actually doing Jesus, why I can't speak to it today. It's like okay, I'm fixed, I'm back. They were talking about what you're practicing right now, whether this is present, past, or future, is happening now, right? So then also, when you are in this moment right now, you're practicing whatever you want to practice. You're taking this present moment to the future. So if at this moment right now, you're practicing with something what has happened, yesterday, you're actually bringing this forward, right? So that's why some people are suffering with something what happened 10 years ago, because they still didn't allow it to let go of it, right? So false positivity, right? Toxic positivity, experience something what actually taught you something, right? There was a lesson in it. And toxic positivity for me will equal learning there was something valuable coming out of it, aka lesson. So if you focus on that thing that helps you to move forward and create happier life with this extra experience you have, it's called toxic positivity. Called me toxic from now on, because I really like being that way.
You're a toxic person.
I am a very toxic person. I am positivity toxic, or toxic positive. Oh gosh, one of those.
Excuse me too. So Margaret, thank you again, Margaret. We love these comments, by the way. This is this is good. Pretty much what you just said. So it happens for a reason. Our job is to find out what the reason. Exactly that.
And that's growth,
why?
Isn't it?
Why, if it's
reason for being here?
Yeah, if feeling, why is that? Why did you feel so against it, or even why did you feel towards it? What's the reason for that? What is drawing you in? It's important. And Claire, thank you, Claire. Everything has a lesson in it, definitely. sounds a bit negative, but everything positive, good. It's all a lesson. It's all it's an experience. We're absorbing stuff in all the time. Obviously, the older Benjamin Button, so obviously the younger I get. I'm 83. I don't look at it, but
thanks,
I'm 83.
Margaret.
I am toxic. Yeah, Margaret's toxic too. Yes. So I lost my train of thought again. But I just remembered something, right? So going back, so there was a sketch show probably about the 90s called The Fast Show. I don't know if Claire remembers. No, Claire won't remember this, obviously, because it's 20 years ago. So it's called The Fast Show, right? And they do different sketches. There's a guy, I can't remember what it was. I think it's like Unlucky Doug or something. But this one sketch has just come in my head. So he would be on, he's like one of the regular sketches they do, but no, my luck. I remember one, I'm sure it was like he's walking down the road and there's a big hole in the road. He's on the pavement. Mm-hmm. He said, no, my luck, I'll fall down that. So he walks along and I don't know, he ends up falling down this hole. Mm-hmm. So that's a joke, but it's to the extreme. But yeah, like if you're going to focus on that being toxic and a problem, and same with anything, well, it will be. And then how do you allow? Can you allow positivity into your life?
Of course, you can allow it.
No, but if that's your train of thought, if your train of thought is against it, that finding a positive, or I'm in control of 90% of my life, 10% I can't control. Does that make it harder? If that was my thought process, does that mean it's now harder to allow positivity in my life? Can I have positivity in my life? The answer is yes, of course, right? Because you're going to have fun times. But are you more stuck in the sky is falling and everything's bad and I'm so unlucky and
we are all having free will, right? Which means we can choose what we want to focus on.
Yeah.
And if people are, deciding to focus on what could go wrong, for example, they will be attracting more of that, what will go wrong, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the reality. Yeah. I remember when I was on a training with Tony Robbins, he said that there was this...
you said that like you went together?
Oh, well, it was a virtual... It was a virtual event, right? Last year.
Oh, it was a virtual event now. It was on Zoom.
Which was brilliant. Over 20 or 1,000 people was on that event. It was amazing. But anyway.
But you could have gone together. Why couldn't you not gone together?
Because we could not travel.
Well, yeah, true.
So that was the reason. But one of the things he said, and he said many things, right? He said, there is this very long road in America. What is it? Road 66?
Yeah, Route 66. Yeah.
And it's just that straight, right? So obviously, when you travel on that road, for a prolonged period of time, you will get tired, right? And sometimes it's hard to, even though there is nothing that you could, drive into or have an accident with. It's supposed to be extremely easy to travel on because there is literally nothing, right? I said that there is this, what is it, not the post box, or there is something, right? And that people actually tend to drive into. And do you know why? Because every time someone says, you're going to be traveling on this road, be aware of this point, right?
Yeah.
Do not drive into it. Do not drive into it. And instead of them focusing on driving straight, right? Not the goal, but where they need to get to, right? Safely. So, for example, focus on clear road. Focus on just staying awake. What they have in their mind is, do not drive into this thing. Do not drive into this thing. Do not drive into this thing. And because they think about this thing, they drive into the thing, right? And that's the reason why there is so many accidents on the road where there's not supposed to be accidents, right? So they keep practicing the thought in their mind, right? So it's like literally the world coming out of the woods, just to meet you because this is your expectation, right? So what I'm saying is, in a situation which is negative, if you're choosing to focus on the lesson or something positive, you're creating the safe path for yourself to come out of the situation. Because if you focus on what you are in and you just practice the emotion, you're actually going to prolong your suffering.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So you can choose to come out of it and so-called, false toxic positivity, practice, keep practicing it, because you know very well that the suffering is temporary, right? Unless you decided to practice it for a prolonged period of time.
Yeah.
But you just want to move, away from it, learn from it, experience what you need to experience with all of the negative emotions that are involved in the whole process, experience whatever, and then come out of the other side, just smarter and wiser but happy. Because when you are happy, you actually have something to share with others.
Yeah.
When you're miserable, I'm sorry, but nobody wants to be around you because you're energy sucker. I'd rather to be toxic, right? Positively toxic. That's it.
I thought you were
I'm ranting today, guys.
Don't think about the blue elephant.
Yes. Don't think about the blue elephant. Exactly that.
I love it.
Exactly that. So that was Sinek who said that, isn't it?
Simon Sinek?
Yeah, Simon Sinek. Yeah, he was saying that a lot, actually.
So, well, again, thank you for the comments, and thank you, Claire Bennett. Thank you for your comment as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So just before, I just want to say something, but because we go live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, you guys are all like-minded. So if you're attracted to this podcast, you're all like-minded. So make sure you try and connect with each other, search each other out, and don't go weird, stalky. That's just, no, connect up. It's important.
No toxic positivity.
No toxic positivity, but especially if you kind of resonate with the stuff, it makes sense you guys connect. That's part of the reason what we do this, isn't it? Because it's all about connection. But I'm just curious, actually, and if you watch this on a rerun, same thing. Post in a comment, and I'm just interested. Have you had that experience where maybe you're being positive and maybe someone didn't like it for whatever reason? It could be, for whatever reason they just didn't like it, or it's gone against it. I'm just curious if anyone has experienced that and how they dealt with it.
Are you looking at me now?
Yeah, I was just pausing. I mean, I think for me, because I love helping people. I do, and I know sometimes maybe it's been resisted, if I've been positive about something, and I think sometimes as well that is something I probably maybe wasn't aware of at the time. But if someone's resisting that, then I think it's going to be very hard to get through to them. And I think for me, I would. It's about me being a bit more aware of that if that's not them, that's fine.
I think we
could one a bit off on one a bit.
No, I know where you're leading to.
Yeah.
The thing, I think this is very important. You never underestimate the power of planting a seed, right?
Exactly. So it's knowing when to.
Maybe they are just not ready.
Exactly.
Right? If someone is in the middle of grieving process, the last thing they want.
Oh my God! Yeah.
You're gonna be fine. Just it will soon.
Yeah.
You just really don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But you have to give them a space, right?
Yes.
To go through whatever they're going through, and if they have this inner need. If that's the way of describing it, the inner need for positivity and happiness, they will be leading towards it, and they will get there sooner or later. So, they might be very much resisting positive emotions, in the midst of experiencing something negative. But at some point, this positivity,
because that's part of the grief curve.
Exactly, will get to them. So it's there for a reason. Are they ready to hear it? Maybe not, but it doesn't mean you have to stop doing what you're doing as a positive person, right?
Yeah. So in conclusion, then, that if we find ourselves in a resistive mode against feeling positive, then there's something else going on.
Yeah.
And it's like we know like some, and you're right. Actually, sometimes like I don't want positive words coming my way like that. There's a way. There's empathy, isn't there? It's when to be empathic. And they don't really help me because I just think shut up. Just let me go on my little rock. Go on my rock for a little bit, and I'll be right. So that's from my own perspective on it. And so there's times when, what was I saying? So if we're feeling resistive against it, then there's something going on. So if we're aware of it, then we know what it is. If we're not, if we haven't addressed it yet, then what's the reason? And I feel personally, if it's like grief comes up for a lot of things, but there's a curve, you can Google it, the grief curve, and it goes through all the emotions. Depression is there, so we have to go for that. It doesn't mean like we got depressed for years. It's just that feeling of depressed, but actually it's not at the bottom of the curve. It's as you're coming back out.
Yeah.
So I use that
turning point.
Yeah, and I used to use that as a lot. How I'm feeling. You got the anger, the denial, and it can be like this, depending on whatever it is you're going through. And then as you start coming out, you find new meaning and your way out. But I always remember being told you can't jump over this. You can try, but all you're doing is you'll end up coming back to it, and it'd be flipping hard then. So yeah, I do feel those emotions are important. But if it's always, and then from the other side of the things, when you're in that positivity and you're getting resistance, then I think it's right. There's something else going on with this person. It's a little bit their own lesson, because sometimes all our lessons are our own, right? And if they, it's just stepping back and know, and like you said, you can plant a seed, and if they want help, you'll know. We just know when people are ready, because it's like, oh, I feel better now, or you'll get that idea. But if they're resisting again, oh, I ain't all that rubbish, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
I think just there's so many turns and twists, and extensions to it, that nobody really can make you happy. This is your own doing. You have to take responsibility for your own actions. And like I said, you said this beautifully, people are going through grief or some, really not nice experiences.
Yeah.
We have to allow them and ourselves, if we are in the midst of it, just to go through it and address it. Not addressing it is actually creating a bigger problem, isn't it? And we as a human beings, we have the variety of different emotions, like I said that a couple of times today, for a reason. And for example, there is lots of people, I know that's a little bit a distance from what we're talking today, that who are in the middle of depression, right? And obviously they can't hear any reasons for positivity, because when you're depressed, there is no reason to be positive, right?
Yeah.
But the moment when they get angry, okay, it's something what should be cherished. And do you know why? Because depression is one of the lowest emotions you can feel. Anger is you taking your power back.
Yeah.
So if you have people around you, I think you can actually help this person to get angry with your positivity, right? Think about that.
I don't want that again.
But I know, I absolutely.
I haven't got time for that anymore.
What I'm trying
sorry.
to say is, no.
Yeah, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, you're actually helping them to come out, right, from from depression, and the key is for them to keep progressing, just up on the emotional scale. Is not telling them to calm down. Okay. Or tell them that it's bad to feel what they feel.
Oh no, I totally
people
agree.
have a really funny, just opinions about emotions. Like you're not supposed to feel anger, right?
Do you know what? I hate being told to calm down. Shouldn't have said that.
That makes you angry even more, right?
Flipping out.
Yeah. So
because I want to be angry right now.
Yeah, and this is great.
Don't get me wrong. I know it's not
allowing this energy to just go, right?
I'd rather control that, but I also like to not be in that. I don't want to be angry. Who wants to be angry? So I also like to be left alone, so I can process it, smash it out on some bags, get that negative energy out, rather than being drawn into a conversation. That again, that's come from experience. It just, because it does become real. It can become quite toxic, and I hate being there. I've been there. It's horrible. Leave me alone. Let me just go and sort myself out, and then all good in the hood, as they say in the hood.
But then again, this is a higher level of self-awareness and knowing how it affects you personally, how it affects others, how you deal with it so it does not affect others.
But also
right?
some others just not meant to be around. That's that.
And that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sometimes you got to take that step back and, you know, again, I like to help people, but sometimes it's, do you know what? Not today. Sorry. Because number one is me. I can't help anyone if me's not all right. So that's that. And I used to feel bad for it, whereas now it's like, well, look, sorry. And yeah, it's a two-way street. And, you know, sometimes people got to take a break from me.
Hold on. We have a comment.
Go on.
Right, let me just show it. So Claire says, I need to be left alone if I'm angry so I can calm myself before I blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Many people are actually, or even yourself, right?
But I've been on the other end where I've been trying to calm someone down as well. And I can see now that was a stupid mistake. It's just they need to be left alone. So I think it's just life and learning. But I'm aware of it, which is important. When you're not aware of it,
takes massive
becomes
awareness,
a problem.
you know.
Yeah. Break patterns, mistakes, or things happen in it. It's pattern. It's when we get into a pattern that's not serving us well. That's when things become a problem.
So, what is your take on that? Because it's been actually quite broad.
Hey, we went off on one, but hey, that's what's so good. That's why I love it, because we start off with a subject and then it always generally connects in with something else we've spoken about. So yeah, let us know your thoughts. If you're watching a rerun, same thing. And thank you for those that have commented today. Don't forget to connect with each other. Takes a lot of exactly, Claire. Everything, because it's always a two-way street. Everything that's what it is at the end of the day, is just self-awareness. If you're more self-aware and you're aware of maybe could have handled that better, cool, we're on the right track. Really, that's the inner power. That is trusting your intuition, and there we go.
And moving forward, smarter and wiser, right? And
exactly.
stronger.
Working smarter, thinking smarter. Yeah. Don't forget, nice review, 5-star review, leave a comment. Thank you, everyone. We are back next week. It's not an interview next week, is it? We've got one coming up, haven't we?
We have some exciting interviews coming up. So, but we're gonna let you know in a few days' time.
Yes.
So we're gonna keep you, just hanging.
And have you got anything exciting that you want to share about, or is that something? Because I know, obviously, but that's coming up. Was that another thing?
Another thing. I'm gonna just keep it quiet.
That's a teaser. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Peace, love, always, and we will see you same bat time, same bat channel
next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios, amigos, and see you.